Rugby League's highest scorers visit the men who scored 45 themselves a week ago. It's York against Leigh. And the crowd at Clarence Street will see the second division leaders Leigh play here almost certainly for the last time. For this is York's ground from next season, courtesy of Rydale Council. It may not look much now, but it will be home.
Very fortunately for us, Rydale District Authority came along and said, well, you know, we're into a leisure complex, come and join us. And I mean, this was wonderful, and it'll maintain rugby league in the city. And as you can see, it's only some 2 miles from the original ground. I think it's a wonderful opportunity.
Well, that's for the future. Second division points are what matter today. If Leigh maintain their 100% record, they'll be 2 points clear at the top because Doncaster are without a match. You'll see Barrow there also going well in third place with only 1 defeat all season. And we've a bonus for you later in tonight's Scrumdown. Coverage of Carlisle against Barrow at another new ground, Guildford Park. Will Leigh arrive at pretty well every ground as favourites these days? Relegated last season, they're the team everyone wants to beat.
Well, obviously, in a roundabout way, it's like when Wigan were taking everything before them a couple of seasons ago. And it's a similar, but it's a nice feeling as well. So it takes that little bit of complacency out of our players, and they know they're coming here with an hard game on their hands.
If it is hard, Leigh will look for tries from Barry Ledger. He got 3 last week, and only a Fire and Schofield have scored more this season. David Watkins.
Well, he has had first division experience with St Helens. His devastating pace and a good sidestep enables him to break tight defences. He's also a solid defender, so important in today's game.
Ledger there in his usual number 5 spot in a Leigh team confident after their 56-6 thrashing of Whitehaven last week. Craig Burrell is the only change. He's in because of a doubt about Ian Jeffrey's fitness. Jeffrey's on the bench along with David Ruane, who scored 4 tries in 3 games. The key man for York today is Steve Dobson, who missed the midweek defeat at Sheffield with an ankle injury.
Well, he's a skillful ball handler and a good motivator. His industrious play enables him to always be in the thick of things. He's also an astute kicker. This enables him to take pressure off his defence.
And those are some of the reasons why York coach Gary Stevens has picked Dobson instead of himself at scrum half. Australian Chris Macklin-Shaw returns at centre, and another Aussie, Paul Mulherin, switches from the centre to the second row. York are one of the better supported second division teams this season, but they know their men start as underdogs here as we join John Helm.
The Australian Chris Macklin-Shaw kicks off for York, playing in their Wasps colours with the black and amber bands. Leigh in their usual cherry and white. And the ball lost in the tackle, and a good chance for York here to spin it along the line straight away. And Gary Atkins in possession is hauled down. It's encouraging possession for York, this. Referee Kevin Allett from Southport uses his whistle for the first time, and it's the 5th time only he's been here to York in 18 years as a Grade 1 referee. And York with an early opportunity to put points on the board. A first-minute penalty. And David Watkins, a rather silly thing for Leigh to do, especially the second defence of speaking to the referee.
That's right, and it's interesting because York disappointed in midweek. They'll be out for a good start today, and to get an early score on the board is most important, whereas Leigh obviously have travelled over here this morning, now looking anxiously, hoping that it obviously doesn't go over so they can get back up in the York half.
An angled kick, and there's a good crowd behind the sticks here. Sullivan, 2 points, smack through the middle, and the perfect start for the home team. So Graham Sullivan gives us that scoreline. Price has Cottrell by the throat, and there'll be a penalty for Leigh, awarded by referee Allett. And that's put safely into touch. Tim Street there was taken out by Ian Fletcher, the former Castleford prop forward. And referee Allett has been very free with the whistle in the opening moments.
I think that's very interesting because there were two head-high tackles, and obviously he's going to stamp on it straight away. He's warned the player, he's penalised him now twice.
And it gives Leigh the chance, if they'd have wanted, but they're going to put the ball into touch and attempt to run it at York. So it's Alan Platt, their captain, who finds a good touch. So can Leigh get straight back into this game? Peter Rapati, the hooker, member of a famous rugby league family, Peter Rapati. We saw his brother Joe last year playing for Warrington on scrum down. Close to the line in that bottom corner. And a good switch, and he tried to work that ball away, and it's picked up again for Leigh, and they'll have 6 more tackles as Andy Collier picked it up there after Tony Cottrell tried to fling the pass out to McCulloch. Now it's across the other way, and Alan Platt, a huge pass. Oh, and a magnificent take as well. There must be a try for Barry Ledger in the corner. And what a pass that was, fired out by Alan Platt. Quite superb pass, which was taken by Robert Moy, and Barry Ledger finished it off for his 14th try.
Well, of course, Leigh have been unsettled, but they are moving the ball well, and this is a superb move because they've got the defence in all kinds of problems, and that long pass was a superb pass, which was well taken, and it allows Barry Ledger to take the final pass to show us the finishing speed that he has to score in the corner.
Barry Ledger, prolific try scorer, over 100 in his career, and he's really enjoying life with Leigh this season. Difficult kick, obviously, from touch. And not this time, but Leigh have got the 4 points they wanted. Well, Heron was caught. This chap has done well since he came into the York team, Ian Paver, number 8. Signed just a year ago tomorrow from Heworth. Oh, and that's a fine break by Gary Atkins in support from Steve Dobson, who hairs for the line, and he can't quite make it. Good covering tackle. And it was Craig Berrell who got across there to stop Dobson. Oh, and have they held him out again? Yes, they held him out. That was Macklin Shaw going, and he's trying to get over by himself. The referee's having a word with the touch judge, and no, it's going to be a tap on the 25. Enterprise from York,
it most certainly was. John Kerr did a lovely break and good backing up as well by Dobson, but unfortunately this Leigh defence is quite keen.
Horton again for York, former Castleford hooker. Dobson misses out Atkins, Wigglesworth up in the line, and a fine tackle by Tony Cottrell. That's his trademark, but he rocked him up as well, and stupidly gives away a penalty. Well, Tony Cottrell had done the hard bit there, he'd made the tackle, but then he stupidly went and gave away the penalty that he'd no need to do. Well,
that's right, it is a spirited performance now by York. They really are stretching this Leigh defence, and Leigh have coped with it fairly well, but to make the mistake of answering the referee back has only allowed York now to have another pot at goal.
I do believe Tony Cottrell is complaining that somebody bit him. Well, Sullivan has popped one over. It's not a dissimilar position. And he's done it again. So 2 goals for Graham Sullivan. And that brings the scores back level, 4-all. St John Ellis. Again, Paver was willing to run straight at the defence. Oh, and a lovely little dummy and jink from Steve Dobson. And a chance here without question for York. They're almost queuing up for the try, and Gary Atkins heads for the line. And Gary Atkins makes it. What a fine try by York, and it was little Dobson who created it in the first instance. Lovely dummy and jink. The support came in as well from Paul Mulheron, and what a fine try.
Well, York know that they've got to get an early score back, and after that penalty kick, Dobson makes a fine break. We were talking about the industrial scrum half and the tactics that he uses, and look how he put the man in the clear. And the backing up here was superb as well, and that's a great try for York, just at the right time.
Well, Gary Atkins has become a very popular player since he joined from the York All Blacks. It's his 5th try of the season.
Look how he dummies and splits the Leigh defence from deep in his own half, and it's a marvellous run, opened up the defence, and the backing up was good as well, and it's just what York wanted for the spirit performance they've started with.
Can Sullivan add on 2 more? I think he can. Swirls between the sticks. Just what York needed, and they're into double figures already. Jeff Price, ever popular here at York. Oh, and Platt has stolen the ball, and the penalty will be given to York. And a little bit of aggression there between Alan Platt and Paul White. And Leigh continue to concede penalties needlessly.
Yes, I think they're getting rather frustrated because this York side are putting together a fine performance, and Dobson in particular is at the helm of most things that's happening. The forwards are running well, and that was a play there where Price held the ball up, and of course he was robbed, and a penalty resulted in York's favour.
5 penalties conceded already by Leigh. And Sullivan, I doubt whether he's had this many opportunities so soon in a game before. And he's got a 100% record so far. And the cheers tell you that that's 4 out of 4. So Graham Sullivan has really got his kicking boots on, which is why we have that scoreline. Certainly plenty of movement in the game.
It is, and Dobson is at the helm of most of it. A long kick ahead again, which has put a lot of pressure on the Leigh defence, and his men are moving up very quickly and will contain Leigh in their own half again.
Johnson a problem to get away from behind his own line. That really was well played by Dobson. He's in a very impressive little scrum half, I think.
He certainly has. He's motivating his forwards to come forward all the time. He's stringing out a longer passes, and of course those astute little kicks to the corner.
Oh, what a dodgy pass that was, and there's a chance here for Jeff Price to get over for another York try, which is exactly what he's done. What a disastrous catastrophe in the Leigh defence.
Well, that all started from that long kick ahead. Leigh in desperate trouble, trying to move the ball out now to get away from the position, and only loses the ball. Jeff Price picks it up, shrugs off 2 tackles, and his sheer strength takes him over the line.
Certainly was sheer strength from the man who once got a hat-trick of tries for Yorkshire, going back a few years, 6 to be exact.
Well, this was Leigh trying to battle away out of defence. A loose pass goes to the ground, and Price picks it up. He knows where he's going. He pushes off the defender by standing upright and make sure he can't down him until he's over the line for the try.
Sullivan, he's done it again. Well, he's really fired up his Graham Sullivan, and his goal kicking is spot on.
Well, Billy, you said it would be a hard game. You didn't think it would be this hard, did you?
I think they're still on the court, yeah. They want to work up. But a far better side than this.
Johnson just keeping the ball in play. Oh, and that was a clever little bit of play as well for him to get past St. John Ellis. has been given anyway to Leigh this time. Yes, offside. He was standing in the offside position, was Ellis. But I think Billy Benny got it absolutely right. His team is still on the bus.
Yes, they certainly haven't settled down at all, but one mustn't take away from York the credit, their performance of commitment and the way in which they're moving the ball about with Steve Dobson at the mainspring of the team has really wakened this crowd up here this afternoon.
And the York crowd will certainly get behind their team all the more the further they get in front, as Leigh concede their 6th penalty. And Graham Sullivan will be thinking of world records if he carries on kicking goals at this rate. He's kicked 5 in 20 minutes. And of course, as you well know, David, once a goal kicker gets his eye in, he wants to kick them from all over the place.
That's right. The confidence from kicking 2 and then 3, and most certainly with 5 of this fella, has no doubt done him a power of good.
Would you believe it? This is a really phenomenal performance from him.
It has, yes. He is superb goal kicking and much appreciated by this crowd this afternoon.
Leigh's ball from the scrum, and we've seen little of them in an attacking guise recently, but here's Robert Moy, the New Zealander from Auckland. He got 2 tries against Whitehaven last week. They need another from him now. Classy looking player, so he's got a superb pair of hands. And Peter Reparty, another of the Kiwi contingent, heads for that York try line. Important now for York to keep Leigh out and discourage them. But Johnson has got over. No, he can't. Has he got over? He has indeed. Well, he certainly shouldn't have been allowed to get over from that position, but he wriggled his way over.
Well, it's the first time Leigh have put on an attacking thing for some time, because they've been under a lot of pressure, and he was allowed to go under 3 tackles and score a try, an important try at that.
That's Phil Johnson picking up his 5th try of the season. The boy who joined them from Leigh Coates. And his namesake, Chris Johnson, should manage to put this one through. And we've got a really high-scoring game here at York. Points to 10. Well, it could end up at anything, this game.
Well, you've got plenty of entertainment here this afternoon. Both sides are throwing the ball about well, and it's been sort of 1 or 2 mistakes. Most certainly they have to ask questions of York's defence then, because they were well in front, and of course that has allowed Leigh to creep back into it.
Platt puts in a long kick again, which Wigglesworth will field. Gets past first man Burrell, but not the second man. Well, what was surprising about that try is that York's defence has been excellent most of the season. They've conceded only 102 points before this game, the 3rd best defensive record in the division. Crowd ooh, because number 8, Tim Street, went in a little bit too hard for their liking and for the referee's liking.
Yes, he went over on top of the man after the tackle had already been committed, and the referee quite rightly pulls him out because he has injured the player as well, although he seems to be all right now.
Sullivan loses it in the tackle, and that was fair tackling by Leigh. They did it absolutely right that time.
Yes, that was a super tackle. The one that committed him while he was struggling out the tackle, he robbed him of the ball.
Party along the line, and another running chance. Moy though is taken out by 3 York men, and now 4. Did well to slip the pass actually amidst all that, and another 6 tackles for Leigh as well, because York actually managed to touch the ball. Oh, and he missed out a man there, and there's a good chance here for Leigh. Oh, there would have been, but the ball is knocked back, and Chris Macklin takes it on, but the referee spotted the infringement. And the penalty will be given against offside against Macklinshaw.
Well, there's no lack of excitement and most certainly skills, and both sides are committed to the game, and there's some excellent rugby being played.
The touch judge is on at the moment as well. And it's Tim Street who's in trouble for the second time in a couple of minutes. And he's going to have 10 minutes in the cooler. Well, he's been thoroughly involved. He wears a wry smile as he goes.
I don't think that'll help Leigh's cause at all. They're behind at the moment. They haven't got it all together yet against a York side that are really hammering home at them.
Brian Dunn, former Wigan and Rochdale second row man, was up there. A good, strong, surging run from Cottrell. So 2 tackles gone, 4 to go. As Platt switches the point of the attack. Scrum half Johnson takes it on. And penalty is given to Leigh and against Graham Sullivan. And again, to take the steam out of the situation, they're sensibly going to kick for goal.
Yes, they are. It is a wise decision. They know before half-time. It wastes a little time as well anyway, and if they kick it dead, it means that York will have to drop back out of them to give them possession.
The kick entrusted to Chris Johnson, who's missed much of this season through injury, but he's not missing his kicks this afternoon. It's the second one he's put over. And it's 20 points to 12, and Leigh are just creeping back gradually now. Can York squeeze that ball out of the scrum? Not this time, no. Penalty has gone to Leigh. So it looks as though they're going to survive the rest of the half.
Well, I'm surprised then. Apparently it was for feeding, and I wouldn't have thought Steve Dobson would have wanted to do that in that position.
So welcome relief for Leigh. Platt puts that ball high into the crowd. Imperative for Leigh that they don't drop the ball now. And at the end of a high-scoring half, and I think we can guarantee more points in the second half, David.
Yes, an excellent start as far as York are concerned. Their forwards are running well, and of course, coupled with Steve Dobson's excellent play, and of course a great goal-kicking display by Sullivan. But Leigh have crept back into it, made a lot of mistakes which aren't really, as you said, for a First Division side. And I'm sure there'll be a lot more points in the second half.
So the sides are separated at half-time by that 20 points to 12. 2 tries apiece, though. Atkins and Price for York, Ledger and Phil Johnson for Leigh. A lot of points, I think, to go in the second half. Join us for that after the break. Welcome back to York. That's the half-time score, and just before the start of the half we can hear from a very interested spectator, David Noble of Doncaster, who's here.
Well, David, with Doncaster and Leigh, a very close rivalry at the top of the table, you must be loving this.
Yes, it's going well for us at the moment. I hope York can keep up and Leigh start to come back into the game in the last 5 or 10 minutes. Hopefully York will score early on and kill Leigh off.
But do you see Leigh coming back and winning it?
Well, I hope not, but I hope York score a quick early point and kill them off then.
We'll see. David, thanks very much indeed. The second half just about to get underway. Here's John Hell.
Well, there's David Noble, the beneficiary in his testimonial season with Doncaster, and nice to see them, David. Walker's doing so well.
Yes, it is actually. He's been a good servant of the club, and of course Doncaster are having successes that no one even dreamed about, I don't suppose, a few years ago.
Well, if the second half is as lively as the first, it's going to be an interesting 40 minutes, this. And I'm sure Billy Bennion will have had a lot of words to say to his team, and their ears should be stinging now.
Yes, I think he would have told them to settle down and to use the ball sensibly and not make as many mistakes, and to get really on top of this York side to try and slow them down.
The knock on, and picked up again by Dobson, who's done a good job again for his side.
Oh, he's been marvellous. He's been at the feet of his forwards. He's strung out a load of passes, and he's kicked very well tactically.
This time it's York's turn to spill it. Well, the scrums in the first half, just edged by Leigh, 43. None won against the head by either hooker, though. And Leigh have conceded 8 penalties. That's one more than York. But they've also made a lot more errors, 10 to York's 7. That is surprising. Now there's some real determination there, but the pass is put down by Craig Berrell. Got it back. Well, the ball was knocked back according to referee Allett, so Chris Johnson tries to swerve between 2 men. Last tackle, and he'll attempt to drop goal, but it's not one of his better attempts. And Ian Wigglesworth runs it out for York. And again, just a little bit over-anxious, I think, at the moment.
Yes, I think both sides now need to steady up a little. They're trying to do things 100 miles an hour. It needs somebody to get in, like Steve Dobson or Alan Platt, to slow things down.
Nicely done, and Chris Johnson up in the line. And I think there'll be a penalty here for a head tackle on Chris Johnson. He certainly took him out.
Yes, he did take him out, and the referee quite rightly has called them to order and given Leigh a penalty. There's still a little skirmish going on, and he'll have to stand in on that rather quickly.
So a simple enough looking kick for Chris Johnson. And he's not fluffed it either. 2 more points for Leigh, and that certainly should make Billy Bennion, the Leigh coach, a lot happier down there.
Put these dumb balls out.
Well, Billy, you should be a bit happy, but you're still saying they're panicking.
Well, exactly, you can see it in the play. They're too uptight, and that's all it needs. We were doing exactly the same in the first half. We're our own worst enemy at present.
And you can't work out why it's happening?
Well, they're just frustrating them, but that's what the game's all about at times. A side that frustrates you. We've just got to settle and be professional, and we're not at present.
Thank you, Billy.
Ellis. He's still there, spinning away like a top, is St John Ellis. And that was a spirited run by the winger. He scored in the last couple of games. Really low sun here in Wigginton Road. As York with Atkins get going once more. Mulherron back inside, finds a colleague in Price. Now Wigglesworth is up there, and Ian Wigglesworth's done it. He's broken the Leigh ranks, and that's a super score. What a good try from Ian Wigglesworth. Well, he got 19 tries last year and another one.
This is what they really wanted, to liven up the crowd here, and this ball was going, the second row forward took it through, and Jeff Price, as always, on the alert and takes a good ball to Wigglesworth inside and under the sticks, and that's the tonic that York wanted, and that really should put them in the driving seat.
Ian Wigglesworth, 5th try of the season. The first chance Graham Sullivan's had in this half. Just to remind you, he's got still a 100% record with his kicking. This should be 7 out of 7. Yes, it is. 26 points to 14, a convincing lead. Leigh are wanting to bring off John Kerr. He did get a bang on the head just a few moments ago. And David Ruane is the player who will be coming on. Signed from Widnes in February, and he's got 4 tries in his last 3 games. It's that man Platt who puts boot to ball. The ball goes almost out of the ground. So a chance now for Leigh. They've got to do something. They've come here with a big reputation as second division leaders. The Doncaster people in the crowd must still be rubbing their hands at the moment at the prospect of Leigh going no further clear of them. Platt, Street. Tony Cottrell now. York's defence holding firm again. They've conceded only 2 tries so far in an hour. There'll be another penalty here. And again, it's gone to Leigh. And they'll run it. They've got to try and catch York unawares. So Platt gets it away. Just picked up by Collier. There was a touch of desperation about all that, though. Phil Johnson now. Ruane. They really do need to show a spark of imagination at this moment. Johnson could be the man. Street herring for the line. Oh, Tim Street is there, I think. No, he's a yard short. It's a good run from him, though. Platt. Oh, there must surely be a try somewhere here. Back inside from Moy, and it's Barry Ledger who pops up from that place for his second try, and that's why he's one of the best try poachers in the game.
Well, they rushed away with it quite a bit, Leigh. They nearly lost the opportunity. They've put a lot of pressure now on this York defence, and the long ball again catches them out of position. And it's only a matter of making an outside break here, drawing the defence with him, and Barry Ledger coming back on the inside. That's good anticipation by the wing, and a try that they gladly need, rather.
And it was a good pass supplied by Moy as well from a difficult position. So the kick at goal becomes even more crucial for Leigh. Chris Johnson can't quite get it between the sticks. But the deficit is down to 8 points, and Barry Ledger here could be on his way to a 4th hat-trick this season. He's got 3 already against Runcorn, Keighley and Whitehaven, and now 2 tries today. It's out for York from Steve Dobson, a crucial one to win, and here's Gary Atkins. Now he's split them a couple of times. Can't get through that tackle from Ruane and Moy. But I think a York try now really would perhaps kill off Leigh. They've come back twice. They're still behind, though. It's just the sort of time that someone might think of a drop goal as well, as the ball is put to ground, but was knocked behind, so it didn't matter. 3 tackles gone, 3 to go, and Ian Paver tears into the line. Dobson's going for that drop goal. It came back up a Leigh player, so York at least will get another 6 tackles now. Well, it was worth the try. Here's Darren St Hilaire, substitute, just come on, and gets it away for Ellis. Ellis going for the corner. St John Ellis, so he's caught by the neck and pulled round by Barry Ledger, who, as we said at the start, is as good on defence as he is in attack.
Yes, he certainly is, and that was an important tackle as far as Leigh were concerned. But Steve Dobson took the right option, I believe, in trying to drop a goal. Although it was charged down, it would have given them points for pressure, and that's important.
Leigh have it. Chris Macklin-Shaw's gone off the field with a suspected broken thumb, so York don't need any more bad news. And they'd be really sick if they lost this one now, having led from the start. So, Tim Street's a big lad, which is why they paid £18,000 from him, but he got pushed back a long way towards his own line then. Which shows the effort York have put into this game. Tony Cottrell will not let go. He's worked very hard. Ooh, and flinging that ball around there had to be dangerous, and Darren St Hilaire's got it back for York. And they really have been victims of their own impatience at times. Dobson. Still coming right, and there must be chances once more. Hauled back this time is the hooker Stuart Horton. Across the line is Dobson. He puts it down. Again, it was behind him. St Ellis again tries to weave his way through all the lead defenders. He's had a good second half, Ellis. Whenever he's been in possession, he's done his dump wrist, and there is a little drop goal. Popped over by Stuart Horton at the perfect psychological moment. What a good job he's done for his side there. And there are 10 minutes left for Leigh to try and salvage something here. Platt, did well, but eventually lost the ball, and Dobson's picked it up for York. And Darren St Hilaire streaks away, gives it for Ellis. He can't hold on to it. So Farrell has it for Leigh. He's taken out by Bleakley. Well, that was exciting.
Well, that's really exciting stuff, and there's no doubt at all about it. This York side really know that they've got to win this game, and they're going about it the right way. It's causing Leigh to get terribly frustrated. They're putting passes to the ground, and York are pouncing on every mistake.
Has the put in, and it's come out to him as well. And Ellis seems absolutely determined here in front of our cameras on this touchline site to do something spectacular. And he was looking for it then. Bleakley, he's had a good game at loose forward.
He has. He's been good in defence as well. He's carried the ball well out of defence and both into attack.
Strong running from Ian Paver, barging his way through, and still he was looking to get that ball away for Gary Atkins. And York are really carrying this fight to the league leaders. Horton get involved. And he's still taking the pass. And, well, that was Sullivan. His feet just slipped at the crucial moment. Dobson. Oh, and Dobson has found support from Wigglesworth, who's got his second try. And what a day it's turning out to be for York. The joy on the face of Ian Wigglesworth says it all, and again it came from good play by scrum half Dobson. Well, they've really ripped this defence to steps, and Dobson ducks under a tackle. What a marvellous game he's had. We talked about him before the programme, and my gosh, he's put everything into perspective. He put the full back through for a marvellous try. Well, who would have believed that Leigh would have conceded over 30 points here? It's turning into a bit of a spanking for them. Sullivan convert that one. Not this time. He's just swung it wide of that far upright to spoil his previous record. But he still had a good day, and York lead by 31 points to 18. Steve Bleakley has gone off, having had a very good game indeed for York, the loose forward, to be replaced by Steve Olsen. York have it, and a real chance here for a final flourish maybe. Atkins, he's got support. Ball down by Johnson. Price, scorer of one try, wants another. And York really coming looking for that sting in the tail. And they might just get it as well. So can Dobson conjure up another one? St Hilaire is taken out. And Horton. And along the line, there must be a chance here for Mulherron. Back inside. Sullivan goes for the try line. And Sullivan is pulled down a yard short.
And they're absolutely swarming around like bees at this moment as the ball is spun across the line, and there must be chances here, and Paul Mulherron is there, and he's over, and that seals a quite marvellous day for York. Wigglesworth came up in the line, but it was Paul Mulherron who takes the final congratulations.
Well, York have attacked with everything this afternoon. That's a fine pass out again by Steve Dobson. On the hooker, passes and moves the ball on again. Well taken by Wigglesworth. And this is the sort of confidence the side has got. Caught the defence napping. Ledger couldn't hold him, and it's another try.
There's the angle. The crowd massed behind the sticks. Up it goes, and it's looking good. It's looking very good. And what a way to round off a superb day for Graham Sullivan and for York. 37 points to 18, and the hooter goes, but that's been a marvellous performance, and one, I'm sure, which will have left York's coach Gary Stevens quite ecstatic.
Gary, congratulations. You've done it by playing good rugby.
Thank you very much. Yes, we played very well. Very nice to see the tries going.
Did you really believe when you woke up this morning you could win this and win it like this?
I've said all along, mate, that I've got a side here that it's top 4 contenders. There's no doubt about it, we can beat anybody on this day.
A tremendous crowd reaction for you.
Great, it's nice to see the supporters behind us.
Gary, thanks very much indeed. Let's have how the game went with John Helm.
Top 4 contenders indeed. Well, we shall see, but certainly that is a feather in York's cap to end Leigh's 100% record. So let's have a look at the detail of the game then, and York delighted with those 2 tries from Wigglesworth, 1 each for Atkins, for Price and for Mulherron, and Sullivan, a marvellous day for him with the 8 goals. Barry Ledger, 2 tries for Leigh, 1 for Phil Johnson, but York comprehensive winners, and so it's to their dressing room we go to find the man of the match with David Watkins.
Well, today he has come down and visited the 2nd division to see York and Leigh, and a magnificent game this afternoon, thoroughly entertaining. And after their disappointment in midweek, they turned in a fine performance to win quite comfortably against league leaders Leigh. But for me, this afternoon, the Stone's Better Man of the Match award goes to York's number 7, Steve Dobson. Well done, Steve.
I'd just like to thank the lads for today's performance. Thought it was great. Obviously, I'd like to thank Gary, Derek Foster, and all the staff involved. Excellent. Thanks very much.
Now for the game's vital statistics. There were only 12 scrums in the entire match, Leigh winning 7 of them to York's 5. None was won against the head, though, in one fairly even aspect of the game. Leigh were guilty of conceding several penalties early on, but York committed most of the later indiscretions, and in the end gave away 13 penalties against Leigh's 10. The visitors made a surprising number of mistakes, though. League leaders shouldn't spill 22 passes as they did. So what else has been happening today? Nick?
Well, we have a Yorkshire Cup final repeat in store. A pair of tries each for David Rookley and Grant Anderson take Castleford through to a John Player Trophy tie with Leeds. Graham Steadman gets 2 more tries as Featherstone run up 46 points in the Cup. Kevin Rain moves from Leeds to Doncaster, who paid 5 times their previous transfer record for him. Now a check on the day's results, starting with the John Player Trophy preliminary round. Featherstone 46, Hunsford 2. Workington 2, Castleford 28. Wigan St Patrick's 36, Ellen 2. The Stones Bitter Championship Division 2. Batley 39, Rochdale 14. Bramley 62, Dewsbury 14. We'll have action from Carlisle against Barrow in a moment. Mansfield 2, Swinton 24. Runcorn 20, Fulham 12. Whitehaven 36, Chorley 14. York 37, Leigh 18. So to Carlisle against Barrow, the game played at Guildford Park. Border Television's cameras were there with Keith Macklin.
Carlisle started brightly enough, but Barrow scored after 5 minutes. Their big forwards stormed the Carlisle line, and Marwood and Maguire combined to send Stuart Williams through a gap. However, Carlisle had some bright attacking moves of their own to unfold, and they should have scored when Langton missed an easy pass with the Barrow line open. During this spell of Carlisle pressure, the Barrow defence looked very vulnerable, and yet another good chance went to the winds as a great combination between Langton, Pape and Pitt, with Langton handling twice, was wasted as the ball went loose with the Barrow line again wide open. Derby game rivalries and hooking rivalries exploded when hookers Thomason of Carlisle and Query of Barrow took their scrum battle out into the open. When the fisticuffs ended, referee Mr. Haig sent them both to the sin bin to cool off. After playing his part in Carlisle's earlier missed chances, Langton made amends and got it right. Murdoch put in a neat chip through. Langton was first to the touchdown. And Vickers' goal put Carlisle deservedly 6-4 in the lead. But Carlisle's effort blew out and Barrow scored 2 tries before half-time. Barrow's coach Rod Reddy has brought over several fellow Australians, and one of them, fullback Tim Dwyer, put out a beautiful pass to send Blacker over. Then another Aussie, front row forward Cavill Hugh, formerly with Halifax, romped through for a fine individual try. Marwood landed the goal, and Barrow's 16-6 half-time lead was an injustice to Carlisle. In the second half, after more Carlisle pressure, Barrow went looking for more tries, and Marwood was pulled down just short. But the tries had to come for this side, who already see promotion in their sights. Steve Tickle came on as sub and with his first touch of the ball finished off a crisp movement. Marwood landed a penalty after a play-the-ball offence by Carlisle, for whom nothing was going right now. And yet another smooth passing move on Barrow's right flank involved Tickle yet again, with the former Vale of Luton Wigan winger Stott going in at the corner.
Well, that win moves Barrow to within a point of the joint leaders, and Leigh clinged on to top spot because their points difference is now just 1 better than Doncaster's. Bramley's 62 points today were a club record, and today certainly proved this will be a very tough division to get out of. Indeed, when Bradford, Northern and Leeds perform in front of the scrum-down cameras next week, they'll have to go some to provide a more full-blooded and entertaining match than York and Leigh gave us this afternoon. From all of us here, a very good night to you.